today we got together here to explore a very trending topic, Internet of Things in IT industry nowadays. So, now I would like to meet you, my colleagues and team members here. So here they are, he is.
Hello everyone, my name is Poojan Patel. I am a software developer at iFour Technolab, and our next study is.
Good morning everyone, hope you all are doing good. My name is Sharon Matthews and I am working over here as a software developer, and along with me I have.
Hi everyone, I am Ashlisha Mishra, working here as software developer. So now Purvi will walk you through the topic of IoT, like what is IoT and why we need it. So what will you do?
All of us here, we all have heard this word IoT somewhere, someplace, in news, on internet, in our academics, in our colleges and corporate as well. Does anybody actually knows what IoT is? See, all 1 of 4 people out here are taking the benefit of IoT, which any kind. So, does anybody knows that what is IoT? Any basic knowledge about IoT or anything? No, nobody.
Internet of Things.
Yeah.
Internet of Things.
Yeah,
Which
there-
connect device to.
Yes, right. Internet of Things. Yeah, you are right. So, you all came in this building. There's one door at the entrance which can sense your presence and gets automatically closed and open. When you get nearer to that door gets open automatically, and after few minutes or seconds, door gets closed automatically. Okay. Moreover, you came into this office. I have seen some of you are rushing and pulling out the chairs and adjusting the chairs just to sit over it. But what if, by simply a hand movement of yours, a chair automatically comes to you and adjusts itself in a way that you don't have to do anything except sitting over the chair? Does it possible? So yes, the answer is yes, it is possible with the help of the Internet of Things. This is what Internet of Things does for us. Now, Internet of Things, let's justify this sentence. So here we are having one visual representation. There are few people chit-chatting with the help of the phone. So few years back, or I can say few decades back, people used to communicate while writing the letters to each other. Okay. Then cellular network took the place, and mobiles and cell phones got invented, and people used to communicate with very easily with the help of the mobile phones and telephones and everything. Okay. Then after few years, internet took a place, came into the picture, and it's been a life changing. It has changed our life a lot, that we can communicate with anybody at any time by just simple click of the message. If no matter how far the person is, I am here in the India, my cousin, my colleague, or my friends or my relatives are situated anywhere on entire globe, I can just simply on the click, within a second I can send them a message, how important the message is, how emergency it is. So this is how internet changed our life. So we communicate with the help of the internet with each other. This is the same way things can also communicate with each other with the help of internet. So this is called Internet of Things. Things can communicate with each other, interact with each other with the help of the internet. This is how we can justify Internet of Things. Now, how Internet of Things actually works. So, Internet of Things make our devices or electrical devices think and act according our movements, or any hand movement, or our, we can say instructions. So how this is possible? So IoT actually acquires that ability that it can sense the surroundings over us, surroundings by surrounding environment. Surrounding environments includes temperature, motion, if I am like moving or anything, then heat, then sound waves. So IoT actually sense this process, then it sends the data to the cloud and processing the data, managing that data, and then finally it will represent that data in a visualization form to the user, to a human being, to us. So we can actually see that data and react over it. So now how it will actually work, we can see this in brief on this entire, we will cover this in this session itself. So now after this, there is next topic. Why we need IoT? Why you guys need IoT? your life is you are working fine, like you are like living, there's no issue. Electrical device, but just by my mobile itself, I can literally operate everything, every electrical devices at my from my phone while sitting on the sitting in the chair in my office. So obviously, this is how IoT will be helpful to all of us. It's not just cost cutting or time. We all know time is money. We have heard this from our parents and teachers and like. So yeah, this can save our time as well and cost as well, and yeah, ease of our life. Now, in this entire topic, like what is IoT and why we need it, does anybody have any questions and any suggestions or anything you are seeing that we can make it more human, like more preferable for us? Any examples? Do you guys have any examples that you can say that yeah, this is preferable, we can do this using IoT, it can ease our life, anything except this example. Any example you guys have in your brain and mind? Nothing? Okay. Any questions, any doubt up till now? What is IoT and why we need it? Okay, so now I'll like to call Poojan here. Now he'll take over the next content on this. Thank you.
The sensor and how it works. Yes.
Sensor is get physical data as input and store it as information in the memory.
A kind of communication bridge between two devices, we can say that.
So sensors plays an important role for creating any IoT device solutions. So sensors are devices that detects the external information from the surrounding environment like temperature, motion, moisture, pressure, etc. and convert it into a signal that can easily understood by the humans. So nowadays these sensors are used in a various fields like healthcare, agriculture, transportation and many more. With the expansion of these fields in which sensors plays important role, the market for the sensors growing day by day. So here we listed few of the sensors. So let's take a brief intro of all of this one by one. So first one is the PIR motion sensor, passive infrared motion sensor. As the so guys, I hope that you already guessed what it does by its name. It detects the objects, motion of an object or movement of any people, animal or any object. So this how this sensor works. So this sensor detects the heat energy from the surrounding environment. So this sensor can be used at a place like in security alarm, and we can automatically turn on and off the lights by detecting the movement of any person. So this sensor detects the general movement but do not give the accurate information of what moved or who moved. So the next sensor is the IR sensor. So IR sensor detects the infrared radiation from the surrounding environment. So this sensor can do both, emit the infrared radiation and detect the infrared radiation. As you can see in this picture, this sensor has two parts. One is the LED and another is the receiver. So when there is an object nearby the sensor, the LED emits the infrared radiation on the object and receiver receives the reflected infrared radiation from the object. So anyone knows that in our daily life we are using this sensor. So where are we using this sensor?
Remote.
In the TV remotes and the AC remote, this sensor is used. So the next sensor is the ultrasonic sensor. So ultrasonic sensor detects the nearby object by emitting the ultrasonic sound wave on it and convert the reflected ultrasonic sound wave into the electric signal. So this sensor has also two parts. One is the transmitter and another is the receiver. This sensor is more accurate than the previous PIR sensor because it also tells the distance of an object, that it is how far from the sensor. So we already made a use case using this sensor, which will be covered by in next few slides. So the next one is the sound sensor. So this is a one kind of module which notices the intensity of sound. So anyone can tell me where we can use this sensor?
Earphones.
How?
Hands with Bluetooth hands.
Security systems.
Yes, security. So people are getting more lazier nowadays, and they do not want to get up and turn on and off their switch. So we can use this sensor, and by our clap we can turn on and off the lights or any other electric devices. So the next sensor is the soil moisture sensor. So this sensor nowadays very useful to make agriculture smart and reduce the cost and efforts of the farmers. This sensor detects the how much water content present in the soil horizon. So the next sensor is flame sensor. So flame sensor is used at a place like malls, theaters, hospitals to detect and notify if there is any fire ignition. So how this works? So actually fire produces UV radiation, and this radiation detected by this flame sensor. So the last one is the LDR sensor, light detecting register, which detects the intensity of light. So LDR sensor is one type of resistor whose resistance varies according to the light falls on its surface. So anyone can tell where we can use this LDR sensor? Be covered by sharing. So please come.
Okay, so once again, good morning everyone. I hope the previous slides were clear to you all, right? Do you have any questions so far? Or any doubts or any suggestions from your end? Okay, you guys are understanding the concept, right? What is IoT, like what are sensors, what are the basic components of it, right? So let's now look into the workflow. Before that, can you guys suggest from your side what will be the basic workflow for IoT? So far we have seen why we need IoT, what is IoT, what are sensors. So do you guys have any graph or image in your brain wherein you can suggest what IoT workflow is or how it works? Anyone among you? Okay, so now let's have a deep dive into the workflow. Okay, so for IoT we are having 4-stage architecture. That is, first one is the sensor and actuators, the second one is the internet gateways, the third one is the edge IT, and at the last I am having data center or cloud. So as you can see in the diagram, this stage 1 is connected to the stage 2, which is connected to the stage 3 and stage 4, and it is communicating back even. Like from stage 4 I am getting the data to stage 3, 2 and 1. So I can have a brief idea that from initial stage to the final stage I can send my data, as well as from final stage to back to the initial stage I can receive the data. Okay, so is this the basic overview clear? Okay, so now let's have a brief idea for each stages. So the first one is sensors. So we had a slide earlier, right? What sensor is? So can you guys, anyone among you, say like what sensor is from your end? We have seen the slides earlier, right? So what is the basic purpose of sensors?
It senses the environment and do accordingly.
Exactly. So you are being aware like what sensor is, right? You have the clear idea for that. But do you know what actuators is? Like, have you heard this term before? Came across, or can you give a wild guess what actuators is based on the name itself? Okay, so actuators are nothing, like as he said that sensors are sensing the surrounding, like I am getting the signals from my device and I can send that energy to somewhere, the data to somewhere. Similarly, actuators can provide the input to my device. For example, I'm saying that if the water level crosses my some level, that is, it senses that, right? First it will sense the water level has crossed this area. So at that point, I need some actuator to turn off that system. So at that time, I will be using the actuator. For example, I am having different kind of actuators, like fluid level actuator is there, pressure actuator is there, which will input it, like it will input my device to act in particular way. For that purpose, I am using the actuators. So the stage 1 includes the sensor and the actuators. So the stage 1 is the basic step for my IoT architecture, that is to sense the data as well as to make my device act accordingly. Okay, so is this stage 1 clear to all? Do you have any other idea or any confusions so far before moving to the stage 2? Okay, that's good that you're getting it in far enough. Okay, so stage 2 is having internet gateways. This term is common for all, I guess. Like, there might be some concept for you, you are relating it to, right? Internet gateways. So can anyone say from your end first what internet gateways according to you? Maybe not in terms of IT, but a basic term. Anyone? Okay, as the name suggests, it's the gateway. Like, it's a bridge from where my two devices will be communicating. For example, my stage 1 needs to sense, my stage 1 is sensing the data, right? So I need something that I have to send it to some other place. Like, my devices are not physically connected, but they are virtually connected to each other. So I need to send my data from one place to another, right? So for that purpose, I am having internet gateways. So if I say that what are internet gateways? Internet gateways can include my Bluetooth, my Wi-Fi, there is Z-Wave protocol, ZB is there. There are many kinds of such protocols through which I can communicate or send my data from stage 1 to stage 3. So that is the basic purpose of internet gateways. Under internet gateways, the basic idea is to gather all the data. Like, whatever my sensor is providing me, I need to gather them all, right? I can't let that go in vain. So I need to gather the entire data, and that is done by stage 2. Okay, so is stage 2 clear to all? Like the stage 1, stage 2, are you able to create a link between them? Okay, so the third one is edge IT. Now you have gathered all the data at your place. Now you need to filter them out, right? There will be valid data, invalid data, wanted data as well as unwanted data. So you need to filter out the entire data, and that step is done in the stage 3. That is processing of data. So your data will be filtered out using edge IT. So we will be having one demo wherein we have used ThingSpeak, and using ThingSpeak we have processed our data. So ThingSpeak can be an example for edge IT. Even we are having ThingsBoard is there, Plotly is there, we are having Azure also. So all these are edge IT which will be processing my sensor data. Okay, so is stage 3 clear to all? Okay, so at last, after filtering out my data, like I have filtered out which data I need to store that, right? Because IoT is the basic concept of gathering the data, analyzing, processing, as well as I need to have a basic idea, like I need to analyze my data. So the stage 4 is data center or cloud, that is wherein I will be storing my entire data, kind of my storeroom, so that I can have my historical data, like at what time the sensor detected it, at what time I have inputted the data to sensor or actuators. So I will be having a historical data with the help of stage 4. So it is IoT helps using stage 4. IoT using stage 4, we can do the predictive analysis for my data, right? So is the entire stage clear to all? What stage 1 does, 2, 3, like how my data is gathered, how my data processes, how my data is filtered out, and how my data is stored. Is this clear to all? Okay, so as you can see, from stage 4, I am having a backlink. Can you guys give a wild guess why it is that? Like I have sent in my data, then why need I have to have a backlink from stage 4 to stage 1? Anyone among you? As you all have got the idea of workflow, in one-way communication, why I need a back communication?
After doing the calculation, it should send a response to that what we get to see.
Exactly. So I am glad that you are getting the idea of the workflow. So exactly as he said that from stage 4, I need to send back the response. Like I need to act my device according to my commands. So for that, after receiving the data, I will be sending back to stage 1 and actuators will be inputting my device to act in my way. Okay? So is the workflow clear to all? Do you have any doubts or is there any contradiction that you say that this is not the workflow for IoT? Anything such?
So actuator is used for after what the response get. It will act.
Can you be a little louder? I know.
Actuator is used for like what its response get and act accordingly. So only for that or it will be used for getting response when sensor get.
Yeah, so far we have
So
checked.
Is it for both way or just getting response and act accordingly?
Yeah, it will act accordingly because response is mostly fetched by sensors. We are using sensors to do that purpose. Even in a way, sensors can act as an actuator in a way, but not all the sensors. Like for example, I can make my IR sensor act as an actuator. Like we are using the remotes, right? So IR sensor is acting as an actuator. Like I'm turning on, so it's hitting the signals to my device and it's acting as an actuator. So the basic idea of actuators is that like some sensors do work as actuator, but not all the sensors. But actuators are working as the functionality for actuators. Like if my fluid level has increased, then it will stop that level, or my pressure or anything such factors. So actuators does the basic purpose to hit my device. Okay, I hope that's clear to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so any other doubts? Okay, so shall we move to the next slide? Like all are comfortable with the workflow, right? If workflow is clear, then we will have the basic idea for demo. Okay, so now use cases. So we have built few use cases for your better understanding. So the first use case is crowd detection. As the name suggests, I need some sensor which will detect how many people are here. Like if I want to check how many people are present in this room, I need to count individually each one. My effort is needed for that. I need to see it, I need to check for each person, and if someone enters and I forgot the number, I need to count again. So it's a hectic process again and again I need to do. But what if I say that I'm having one sensor which does that process automatically and I can see the data at some place over here. So according to our theme that lazy is new smart, sitting at one place I can gather all the data. Even if I'm not present here, I can check who all are present over here. That's crazy, right? Like I can simply get all the data by sitting at one place. So crowd detection use case is such wherein it will detect the persons inside a room. Like you entered, then the sensor will increase the count to 1. If you exited, the sensor will decrease the count to 1. So indirectly, I will get a count of the number of people present in the room. For example, we have here ICU example, wherein we have limited number of restrictions, right? We have restricted number of people inside the room. We can't like simply enter into that place as a market, right? There are some rules for the hospital which they need to follow. So the security guard needs to come again and again check if there is noise coming more and more, or the people has increased. So that security guard needs to come again and again and to check. So for that, if he has a sensor which will automatically inputs him that the number has exceeded, then he can simply come and move out the people, right? He need not to rush each and every second. So he can utilize this time more productively, right? So this is the basic use case. I will be showing a demo so you will be having a better idea. Okay, so this is the circuit we have built ourselves. This is the basic circuit we have built for our learning purpose itself. So here we have used Arduino board, and can anyone say which sensor is this? We had the sensor, right? So which sensor is this? Yeah, exactly. This one is the ultrasonic sensor. So what does ultrasonic sensor do? Yeah.
Based on ultrasonic waves, it will doing mathematical calculation and it will measure the distance between objects.
Yeah, right. So ultrasonic sensor simply detects whether there is an object nearby or not. Okay, so we have used Arduino board two ultrasonic sensor, one to detect the entry of people and one to detect the exit of people. And here we are having Wi-Fi module. Arduino board we have used doesn't have inbuilt Wi-Fi in that. So we have used Wi-Fi module through which I can provide the functionality of Wi-Fi through this. Okay, this is the basic. You can come again at the end of the session and look into each part of this. Okay, so you are most welcome to see that. Now we will be showing the demo. Okay, we are connecting it to a laptop just to provide the power supply. We need to provide the power supply, right? For that purpose we are connecting it. Okay, so we have used Arduino, that is Arduino IDE, and we have inputted a logic using Arduino IDE. That if this sensor works, this is the Arduino IDE. If this sensor works, then it is gathering some data, right? So I need to provide some logic to it. Then only it will make some sense. So for that purpose, we have inputted a code over here using Arduino IDE, and we have used ThinkSpeak for data visualization. Like we can directly hit their API and show our data with their, they are having different types of tools like for indicator, gauge, and there are different tools through which I can visualize my data. So it's an easy process. Okay. Okay, so we have created a website over here, basic demo website, which we have used two types of data visualizations over here. One is the indicator and the other one is the lamp indicator. So currently we have set the limit to 3. If the count increases to more than 3, then this LED will blink, which will show to me that there is more number of people inside the room. As well as if I remove like number of people from there, then it will be to normal. Okay. So now let's check. If I do the motion, okay, sorry, this is not yet set up. First we need to initialize the Esp module, so it will say it takes some time, and later it will be connecting to my Wi-Fi, so it will also take some time. Stop. So you can see my Wi-Fi module is also initialized, as well as my Wi-Fi module is connected to my Wi-Fi also. I have provided the connection strings earlier. Okay, so as you can see, if I do any movement, now it will directly indicate over here. This sensor will detect the incoming of people. The sensor you can see over here. Okay. Okay, so based on my bandwidth, it will be updating. I moved my hand and it is updated to 2. Now I will move again. Now it will be updated to increase 1. It reflected. So if a 4th person enters the room now, Okay, this is the earlier code that we had set it to earlier to 6. So that is hitting right now. Like once we upload the code to Arduino, it will be saved until and unless I reset my board. The last code will be running again and again. So my earlier code is running. That is earlier I had set the count to 5. So this is reflecting. As soon as the 6th person entered, the LED got blinked. Now if I, for example, let's enter one more person. That is the 7th. So again, it will be as a signal that the limit has exceeded. Now I will be exiting one people. So it's still 6, now one more. So as soon as the 6th person exited the room, I got an indicator that room is now okay, that it has not exceeded the limit. Okay, so is this use case clear to all, like how it worked or how can I implement in my real life? This is a basic smaller scale project we have built over here for the basic understanding, like how the entry of people and exit of people will be managed. So is this clear to all? Okay, even after this session you can come and we will be showing this demo again and again. Like I guess the last row people might have not been able to see this clearly. So you can come and we will be showing you this demo. Yeah?
Can we use Raspberry Pi instead of this Arduino board?
Yeah, we can use. Raspberry Pi has...
Because of that, Raspberry Pi has embedded Wi-Fi system, so we no need to connect the Wi-Fi.
Exactly, but we wanted to learn something new, like we are having the inbuilt systems and from via scratch we are trying to learn, and we wanted to see like how I can implement my Wi-Fi module to my simple board. In case my Raspberry board doesn't support Wi-Fi anymore at some point, then how can I do that? So there should be some backup, right? So that purpose we have used Arduino so that we can learn how Wi-Fi module works. But the Raspberry board has inbuilt things like the Bluetooth support, the Wi-Fi support, it has everything inbuilt with that. If I want to make this Bluetooth supported, then I need Bluetooth module for this. So for that learning purpose, we have used Wi-Fi module. Okay, so is the first use case clear to all? Okay, do you have any questions or any suggestions for the first use case? Or not clear like how that works or anything which is going through your mind? Okay, so now let's check for the second use case. The next one is desk availability. Nowadays, for example, we are having 2-floor company, right? There will be numerous number of employees there, and I don't know like which employee is present today or which desk is free so that I can allocate that free space, right? We are, as an HR, if I want to, I'm doing the HR recruiting process and I need to check like if an employee comes for practical exam where I can make him sit. So I need to go through the entire space area of mine and check one again that which place is free, right? So that I can utilize it. So rather than roaming the entire office area, I can simply sit at my position and I can check or have the blueprint of my office and have the idea which desk is available or which space I can utilize. So is it that like more lazier, right? I can, at the ease of my convenience, I can get to know what data is available for me. So the second use case is desk availability. As you have seen that ultrasonic sensor, it detects the nearby object. It doesn't detect that I'm initializing at 10 centimeter, is there any object or not? It doesn't do that process. Rather, it detects the nearby object. For example, I'm having the sensor over here and an object is over here. Then it will detect this object and provide me the distance that at 10 centimeter I have detected an object. In case ahead of this object I am having another object, then this won't be detected anymore. Rather, this will be detected and provide me updated distance that at 5 centimeter I am having an object. So this is the basic idea of ultrasonic. And for desk availability, as you can see over here, we are having back-to-back employee sitting arrangement, right? So we have implemented the logic in such a way. For example, here is an employee, here is also an employee. If this employee moves out, then that sensor will detect this person, right? So in a way, my use case may fail. So I need to manage it logically. The sensor won't understand that what is the thing that it needs to manage, but my code can make it understand, right? In which way I need to act. So if the employee moves out from here, it won't detect this sensor. So can you guys give a wild guess like how I have managed that? Anyone, like I gave the basic idea how ultrasonic works and what is my use case, what is my requirement. Can you guys say like which logic I can implement so that this use case works out fine?
So you can guess that how much distance is there. So you can check that if it is here or it is here. So based on the distance, you can check that if that person is there or not.
Exactly, the same logic we have implemented. If the distance I'm getting, like for this employee will be detected through my sensor, but I will be checking that in this distance this employee is detected or not. The distance received from my object and the distance I have predefined, does that exceed? If that exceeds, that means the desk is available, and if that doesn't exceed, that means the desk is used. So that is the basic logic we have used over here. So now let's check that too. This circuit is the same. I am using one ultrasonic sensor over here because I need to just detect the motion. I need not to use two ultrasonic. And the other one is the Arduino board and the Wi-Fi module. And this, do you guys know what is this? Yeah?
Breadboard.
Yeah, exactly, breadboard. So do you know why we use that? Okay, so breadboard is nothing. It gives me a vast area for my connections. Like I am having predefined few inputs only over here. But what if I say I need to provide power supply to my 10 devices? I can't connect the cable again and again to one port, right? So for that I am using the breadboard. I can expand my connections using breadboard. So now we will be checking out how this demo works. Showing you the demo now. I am having the ultrasonic sensor over here. I put my hand, then it will show that desk 1 is used now. And if I remove, it will take few seconds based on my bandwidth to update it. So as soon as I have removed, it shows that this desk is now available. If again I put my hand, then it will be showing that it is used right now. So is this use case clear now? Like how it will be used in my real life? So currently we have set this to update for each second. Like for each second it will be receiving the data, but based on the bandwidth it will be hitting the data. So it will be as soon as the thing speed hits the data, it will be updating in 1 second. That process is faster, but based on my bandwidth it will be sending the data. So is this second use case clear to all? Like how I can use it in my desk availability or HR management thing? Do you guys have any doubt or any suggestions for that? Okay, can you guys suggest anything like this use case wherein I can use in my real life? Other than desk availability, the logic will be same. But not this desk available is not, but any other application area. Can you suggest some? Like where I can use this logic? There is a present employee or not, or there is a human being present or not? Anyone among you? Any idea?
Thing availability.
Okay, can you like elaborate how I can use that?
I want to know if there is any car park or space available. I can use some kind of stuff.
Exactly. This is the perfect use case again. I can detect whether an object is there or not. The ultrasonic doesn't sense the human being. It detects an object in form of living or non-living thing. So if at that distance, I can even use this sparking system. So any other? Okay, no worries. You can take your time, think, make a list of search, and you can come back. We are having our next meetup also. The advanced level we will be having soon. So you can suggest over there. You can go back to your day-to-day life, think like which I can make the most smarter, and you can make a list of that and you can come back. Even you can hit the comment over the RSP link. So we will be checking the next, that is the smart room. Based on the name itself, you can sense what is smart room, right? According to you, what is smart room? Is this room a smart room? Anyone knows that what I can say a smart room? Okay, so based on my commands, if the devices inputted in this room starts to act, then that's a smart room, right? I need not to turn on the lights, I need not to turn on the AC, I need not to open the door, close the door, I need not to act much. I just need to do my day-to-day process and the objects will act according into my manner, right? That is a smart room. So over here, the use case, we have built it in such a way, for example, you guys have entered over here, right? The ACs were on. What if the first person came, need to search for the remote, where is the remote? I need to have the remote and turn it on. It's not that much happy process for that person. Rather than that, the person leaving the room, the last person will be more like unhappy that I need to rush early, else I have to turn off the AC. So before that process, I have to get back out of this room, right? So for that purpose, this is the smart room. We have built a use case wherein if a motion detected, like a person entered the room, the AC will be turned on. And if the person there is no person in the room, like we had the count, right? For the earlier use case, we checked at the count. So if the count is 0, that is no person is available in the room, I can turn off my AC. Isn't it that great? Like I need not to search for the remotes and or even assign some people to turn off the AC. So even I can save the energy too, right? Okay, so this is the basic thing we have built it over here, and for this we will be needing 2 circuits. Like we have seen 1 circuit each, right, for each use case. So can you say why do we need 2 circuits in this use case? Any idea, like why do I need 2 circuits? Okay, so the first circuit will be the ultrasonic sensor which we had detected earlier for the count of people, and the second will be having the circuit with IR sensor. This is the IR sensor which will input my AC to act according to my based on the last circuit. This will input the data and this will be acting as an actuator to my AC, right? So I am having 2 circuits over here. So I am not showing you the earlier demo because it's the same. So I will simply show you the working of IR sensor. And this circuit is demonstrated in such a way that we need to detect the values, right? For example, this AC, I am using the remote. So it's sensing my codes through that remote. But if I say that turn off, it won't turn off directly. There needs to be something logical, right? So that it hits the machine. So before hitting, we need this IR sensor to read the code from my remote. So if I am doing the on thing or the off thing, there is something identical to each step for my AC. So I will be detecting it through the IR sensor and I will be hitting it through my code, and it will be indicated that it has to be turned on or turned off. So currently I am showing you that demo only. Else it's will turn off, so that's why. So I am performing some operation. Okay, stop. Okay, so as you can see, can you scroll up? Okay, as you can see, this is the raw data which I have inputted through my AC remote. So I can use these values to hit over my AC and it will detect that I need to turn off or I need to act accordingly. So these are that unique values which will make my AC act accordingly. So we have built, this is an entire process, right? I need to detect the presence, I need to catch the values, and I need to hit the values. So we have done the part 1, that is the fetching the values. Now it's your job to explore more and see like how can I use these values to turn off my AC. We have given you a hint that how you can turn off the AC. So you guys can try out that and explore the IoT thing more, like using these values, how I will turn off my AC. So you guys can try it out and even update us that how it worked and let us know, and we will be glad to hear that. Okay, so is this third use case clear to all? Like the basic idea or how it works, how it can be worked. Okay, so you guys have any doubt or suggestions in these 3 use cases? Yeah.
One another benefit of this smart room is power saving, which is helpful to environment.
Exactly. Any other inputs from your side? Okay, if I could have a sensor which could detect your brain waves, then I could easily say that, yeah, you are meaning to say this. Even if you're not saying, I could easily understand by standing over here, like what's going through your minds. If I had a sensor which could detect the brain waves. Okay, you can add some suggestions to, or even else any other inputs. But don't wish that I need to shut up right now. Don't wish that. Anything else other than that you can wish. Any inputs from your side, like you have came across this, anything like that? Okay, so I guess all do agree with me. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. That is the domain. Now we have seen the use cases where I can use my IoT. So can you guys suggest some places where I can implement these use cases? Or domain. There are various domains, right?
Like industrial real estate,
Yeah,
real estate, or smart home.
right. Any other?
Corporate offices.
Exactly. In your day-to-day life, you are like interacting with various domains, right? So what do you think that, for example, you are sitting over here. What if I say that you can make this room smarter, you can do your day-to-day life activities more smarter? What would be that? Like, that doesn't need to be logical, right? That it's implemented, just think like if this was this way, it would be better for me. So what's that? From your end, anything? You say that I need to come over here, adjust my chairs, anything other like that?
Like automotive, so like smart cars, it's all about like sensors and all.
Yeah, right.
And transportation, so we can use also in a bus train, like if there is no kind of passenger or someone in the that particular bus, then automatically light will off and on.
Into hotels as well,
Yeah.
like, rooms as well as some of the, we can say that washrooms, like that we can use it.
Exactly. Any other?
The advanced farming.
Yeah. So we are having various domains, right? So now let's check that. The first one is the energy. As he said that we can save the energy, right? We are using technology, we are becoming more technology savvy day by day. So we are using the consumption of energy more and more. So there needs to be something that can manage my energy consumption, right? So it doesn't get utilized and my mother nature doesn't get harmed. So for that purpose, I can even use IoT to benefit that. Not even harm, but even I can use it in a way that it can benefit me. If the energy consumption is more, if there is no people over here, why do I need the lights to be on? So I can turn it off. In that way or any other way, I can save my energy. So I can have IoT enabled devices to manage my energy. Then the education. So can you say like how IoT enabled devices can help the education domain?
So as an example, like there's online studies also going on. So if the video is off, so the professor don't know the student is there or not. So might be they can, with the sensors, might be possible to check that the student is there or not.
Exactly.
It can be implemented.
Yeah, that way even if I say that in the video for the teacher, the user is available at the right there. But that may be an image processor also. That may not be a human even. So the teacher may be tricked, right? So in that case also I can use IoT enabled devices. That is there any blink of an eye or something like that to ensure that the student is sitting and attending the lecture, not any other image processed thing or right. Okay? So in that way I can benefit my education. Next is smart home. We have already seen the smart home, right? As Poojan had suggested earlier, by clapping the hands also we can turn and turn off the lights. All this will be included in my smart home. The next is smart agriculture. As someone suggested that we can use smart farming, right? That is the soil moisture sensor using through which I can implement the smart agriculture. The next is healthcare. I'm pretty sure that many will be having this fitness band with them, right? This is also an IoT enabled device, right? We are able to catch my heart rate, my pulse rate, my breathing level, my stress level, all I can monitor through my smartphone. And even I can check the data of back, like my historical data, my steps, everything is captured using this small device, right? So that is healthcare. Like if, for example, if I say that I am a patient and I am over here in Ahmedabad, but there is no appropriate resource or doctor who can treat my disease. So I can't keep it in that way, right? But if I am using the IoT, then it will be benefit. How? A doctor is located at Mumbai area, then also he can treat me using the concept of IoT. I will be treated, I will be having the benefits of entire functionality of that doctor by sitting over here. So using IoT over healthcare, it's a vast domain and it will be helpful for me a lot. So the next is the transportation, as someone suggested that in transportation also we can use IoT. Earlier we were using GPS system, right? It was just giving me the data that the location of my equipment or my transported elements. So rather than that, I can get to know sitting at my place at what position my object is, in what condition also my object is, whether it's in appropriate working condition or not. Even that can be detected using my IoT devices. So transportation also can be benefited. And do you guys have any doubt in these domains or any other thing or any other suggestions? Like in this domain I can do this way. Anyone from you? Okay. So I hope that was clear to all. The workflow, what sensors are, how IoT works, how I can use IoT, the use cases, all this is clear to all, right? Okay, I hope that you have enjoyed that, and now I will invite Ashlesha to proceed with the next slide.
Thank you, Sharon, for explaining about domains and workflows. Am I audible to everyone? Yeah, okay. Our next topic is challenges. We have seen how beneficial and effective IoT devices can be in day-to-day life. But just like every good thing has something bad in it, our IoT devices has some challenges as well. Okay, I just want to ask you guys, how many of you are using iPhones? Okay, so can I ask what is the reason of choosing iPhone over Android? Because Androids are much cheaper, right?
Maybe the brand name. Security and safety.
Yes, correct. Security, because we need security in every aspect of our lives. Many of us have like life insurance as well. Because we want to secure the future of someone we care about or who depend on us. So in the era of everything online, our data is also one part that we need to secure now. We are using an application to book a cab. We can use our account like our banking information through an app. So this application stores its data to some sort of server. So these servers can be hacked, and your data security of data can be compromised. Just like that, as we have seen in the demo, that we are using ThinkSpeak API to visualize the data. We are sending the value calculated by the sensor to some API. It was not a sensitive data. But what if your IoT device sending some your sensitive data to some server? So our first challenge is security of the data. The next thing is connectivity. Connectivity, we are talking about 5G, and even 6G is under development. But in reality, in some places like remote places or villages, there is no proper internet connection. So if there is no proper internet connection, we can't expect our IoT device to work properly. Because it depends on only the calculation on the server and processing of the data. So that is one of the challenges as well. The other thing is, even if you have a proper internet connection, what if electricity goes off? You can't do anything, right? can you do anything about it? Your IoT device will fail. There is some situation like in Sri Lanka, we know that there is some crisis happening there, and I have heard that every day for 4 to 5 hours they are cutting off the electricity. At that time, there is no use of your IoT devices. So that is our connectivity is our challenge. The third thing is sensor challenge, sensor failure. Sorry. When Purvi has given one example that there is one automatic door which will open when it senses the presence of you. But what if it doesn't sense my presence and it is not opening for me? The sensor is only a device, and device are tend to fail. We can't expect it to work. We can't efficiently every time. So sensor failure is one of the challenges as well. So do you think any other challenges we can face using IoT devices?
Identity.
Identity as in?
Any device should have unique identity. Because of that, we need to secure our device. So we need to abstract the data. Just because of that, we need to provide unique identity to any device or any service or system.
That's good. And any other suggestions? Like what can be the challenges?
So one major challenge that we are going to face soon is one of the city in China. They have implemented one concept by Chinese government that the camera can detect the person. So it's through sensor based, right? Now there is no privacy. If they implement it in the world, so there is no privacy. Even the risk of life is there. So how can we save ourselves from?
So everything is now open, like everything is on social media, everything is on Google, and there is a saying that you can't delete anything from the internet. So if it is there once, it will be stay there forever. So that is very good point. Thank you. Any other?
Storage.
Yeah, good one. Because we are processing large amount of data and we need storage for it. So and data management or data access can be very crucial topic for and it can be a crucial topic in future.
For agriculture, in agriculture scenario, it is very challenging because first of all, we all know agriculture land is basically in villages, and villages don't have internet. So that's why it is creating more issues, as well as let's say if we have implemented solar panels in any villages, basically people are installing its own land, and land are in villages. So in that scenario, they can't do anything. In that part, they need to build or any kind of a little home, and in that part they need to install their own systems and everything, and they can only do it, nothing else. They can't take the data wherever they are, like in cities or anything. They can't.
Yeah, and there can be they are not technical sound as well. I mean, not the education is issue in India as well. So that is one of the challenges. Any other challenges? So I am going to give one example. So last year I decided to be more healthy, and I thought of buying a smartwatch. So here it is. To track my goals, like how much steps I am taking every day. But it works on the movement of your hand by sensing the movement of your hand. But what if I just do it like that? It will count it as a step. So there can be some use cases where there will be minimal accuracy. I mean, it is counting my steps. It is like near to what exactly it is, but it is not that accurate. So that is also one challenge we can see. Is there any other challenge you think we have? Okay. So challenges, if there are challenges, there are so many challenges, but it does not mean we should stop growing or evolving. We need to make an improvement, like maybe we can get excited and you can make this watch more accurate for us, right? So if there are no challenges, if everything is straightforward or everything is easy, then it will get boring. If like we are used to have those Nokia phones, right? Everyone have used that. What if someone thought this is it, we are not going to evolve from this one? We won't be having these smartphones, these smartwatches, and anything smart, right? But they must have faced some challenges as well, but that didn't stop them. That's why we are this highly technical era right now. So our next is future of IoT. What will be the future of IoT? So first, it will make our life more easier, and we will have a smarter way of living, an improved way of living as well. And most of the they suggested about that image. It is detecting the human or person. So it is based on the artificial intelligence, like image processing. So by combining artificial intelligence and IoT, we can make a more powerful more powerful devices. If a few years back, if someone told me that there will be some device that will listen to my commands, and based on that it will do things for me. Commands as in natural languages, like in English I can give the commands and it will do things for me. So what kind of device I'm talking about?
Alexa.
Correct. So if we ever thought few years back that there will be Alexa? No, because the researches are there from 70s. It is in 70s and 90s, but the proper implementation started from 90s to 2000s. So we are ever growing, we are evolving, and we are going to make a few huge impact through the combination of artificial intelligence and IoT. Then someone has given the automated cars example, that it is sensing if there is any object near that, and it is decreasing the speed, and it is making decision based on their own ability, like own sensor values. So this kind of things we didn't expect, but it is in reality there. So that will be our future. And one of the things we face in our daily life, that traffic, everyone faces it. Maybe because of the construction of roads, or maybe increasing population, or maybe we don't know how to drive, or we don't know how to follow the rules. So that's why there are chances, if the problem of traffic is getting bigger and bigger every day. So in one article I have read about Delhi is implementing ITMS, which is integrated or intelligent traffic management system. So it will suggest you alternative route if there is traffic in the current one, and it will also tells you about the parking space in government buildings, government corporate buildings as well. So this will be our future, the smarter city, just like Poojan has suggested that street lights, so smart street lights as well. Do you think what can be implemented further? Any ideas, any suggestions? That it does not have to be like a real time working now. It can be your thing of your mind. Just it will be like just food for thought. No. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining us today, and I hope you enjoyed the session. Do you guys have any questions? Any question, or are you all like shy like me? No questions? Okay, thank you. Thank you guys.
Thank you everyone to join this meetup. So as you know, like iFour is leading IT company, and we are the Microsoft Gold partner. You guys can check our brand new website where you can see like where various domain we are working, and we jump into IoT. So as this guy who prepared the IoT session, so big hand to this guy because they have to make this session done. They have prepared lots of things. Okay, so they have put lots of hours into this session. So you also suggest the new topics, okay, and we are actually conducting the meetup every month and the various topics. So you guys can suggest what are the next topics we can take, and also if you have something want to present, so we are you are welcome to present your any of the session to like this. And yeah, so and yeah, one more thing, like you will got the feedback, checklist, so you will add the feedback, and we make sure to take care the next time. So thank you everyone for warm welcome to everyone. So thank you guys.